Disneyland, the happiest place on Earth. Or is it? Behind the magic music and mouse ears lies a darker side that most guests never hear about. Over the years, tragic accidents and even fatalities have occurred on some of Disney's most iconic rides. From malfunctioning machinery to human error, these incidents serve as chilling reminders that even the most enchanting places aren't immune to danger. In this video, we're uncovering 12 Disney rides that have tragically killed people. Real stories from the parks that Disney doesn't advertise. Viewer discretion is advised. Are you new in this video? Click subscribe and hit notification bell. So let's get started. On the evening of June 14th, 2016, a tragic incident unfolded at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa in Orlando, Florida. 2-year-old Lane Graves from Elkhorn, Nebraska, was playing near the edge of the Seven Seas Lagoon while his family watched an outdoor screening of Zootopia. Around 9 p.m., as Lane waded in ankle-deep water collecting sand and water for sandcastles, an alligator suddenly emerged and seized him by the head. His father, Matt Graves, immediately rushed to intervene, attempting to pry the alligator's jaws open, but the animal retreated into the water with the child. Despite extensive search efforts involving sonar and dive teams, Lane's body was recovered the following afternoon, submerged approximately 10 to 15 feet from the shore. The medical examiner determined that Lane died from a traumatic neck injury and drowning. In the aftermath, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission removed 6 alligators from the lagoon area. Although DNA tests were inconclusive, officials used expert analyses to identify and euthanize the alligator believed responsible for the attack. The incident prompted significant changes at Disney resorts. Previously, signs around the lagoon only indicated no swimming, without mentioning the presence of alligators. Following the tragedy, Disney updated signage to warn guests about alligators and snakes and constructed barriers along the lagoon's shoreline to enhance safety. Lane's parents, Matt and Melissa Graves, chose not to pursue legal action against Disney. Instead, they established the Lane Thomas Foundation to support families of children in need of life-saving organ transplants, turning their personal tragedy into a mission to help others. A wild photo is making the rounds online, showing a Disneyland ride seemingly falling apart, and there are whispers that people got hurt in the chaos. But is it real, or just another internet hoax? Social media is divided, and the story is blowing up fast. What do you think really happened? Share your thoughts in the comments. Picture this. It's 2003, a beautiful day at Disney's California Adventure Park. The sun is shining, families are laughing, and the air is filled with the scent of popcorn and excitement. The Hyperion Theater is buzzing with excitement. People are lining up to see a performance. It's one of the park's main attractions, drawing crowds from all over. But behind the scenes, something terrifying is about to happen. The atmosphere backstage is tense, as everyone is focused on making sure the show goes off without a hitch. A stage technician, just a normal guy doing his job, is up on a catwalk, high above the stage. He's checking the lights, making sure everything is perfect for the performance. 60 feet. That's 5 stories, that's how far he falls. Imagine standing on the edge of a 5-story building and looking down. It's a long way. Can you even imagine? Witnesses say it was like something out of a nightmare. One moment, everything was normal, and the next, chaos. 1 minute he's there, the next he's gone. It happened so fast, no one could react in time. A sickening thud, screams echoing through the theater. People are in shock, unable to comprehend what they've just witnessed. Paramedics rush in, the show is canceled, and everyone is in shock. The audience is ushered out. Their day at the park turned into a nightmare. How could this happen? At Disneyland, the place where dreams come true? It's unthinkable. The stagehand, a 36-year-old man, clung to life for a month, but ultimately succumbed to his injuries. His family, devastated, had to say goodbye to a beloved father, husband, and son. The investigation that followed was even more disturbing. It revealed a series of oversights and errors that led to this tragic accident. Turns out, there were safety violations. Basic protocols that should have been followed were ignored, things that could have prevented this tragedy. Simple measures that would have ensured the safety of everyone working in the theater. Disney was fined. But is that enough? A life was lost. A family was shattered. No amount of money can bring back a loved one. And it all happened in the happiest place on Earth. a place where joy and laughter are supposed to be guaranteed. This incident serves as a grim reminder that even in places designed for happiness, tragedy can strike. Safety should never be taken for granted, and the cost of neglect can be immeasurable. It's 2009, a year that would forever change the perception of Disneyland's safety. The iconic monorail, a symbol of Disney magic and innovation, is about to become a symbol of tragedy and sorrow. As the sun rises and sets over the happiest place on Earth, an impending disaster looms. Two monorails filled with unsuspecting families are on a collision course, their passengers blissfully unaware of the danger ahead. One monorail, for reasons still shrouded in mystery, is stopped on the track, a sitting duck in the path of disaster. The other monorail, unable to stop in time, slams into it with a deafening crash, the sound echoing through the park. Metal twists and contorts, windows shatter into countless shards, and screams pierce the air. It's pure chaos, a scene of utter devastation. People are trapped, injured, and terrified, their dream vacation turning into a nightmare in an instant. Amidst the wreckage, the somber reality sets in. One life is tragically cut short, a young soul lost in the chaos. A 21-year-old monorail operator just starting his life and career is killed instantly, leaving behind a grieving family and community. Can you imagine the horror of that night? The darkness, the confusion, the overwhelming sense of loss and fear, the families on board, the first responders, the Disney employees who witnessed the unthinkable, all forever changed by that fateful night. The investigation that followed revealed a series of communication errors and a lack of proper safety protocols, a chilling reminder of human fallibility. Disney once again faced intense scrutiny for its safety measures, the media coverage relentless and unforgiving. This wasn't just an accident, it was a wake-up call, a stark reminder that even the most magical places are not immune to tragedy. A reminder that even in a place designed to be perfect, tragedy can strike, leaving a lasting impact on all who were there. The Matterhorn, a classic Disneyland ride, a thrilling bobsled adventure through an icy mountain peak. But for one teenager, it became a terrifying death trap. Mark, a 15-year-old boy, was visiting Disneyland with his family. Excited for the Matterhorn, he piled into the bobsled with his brother. As the ride hurtled through the darkness, Mark, perhaps caught up in the excitement, made a fatal mistake. He stood up. Witnesses say he was thrown from the bobsled, plummeting down a steep embankment. The impact was horrific. Imagine the terror of his brother, witnessing his own flesh and blood thrown from the ride, the screams, the panic, the disbelief. Mark's death sent shockwaves through Disneyland. How could a ride, a source of so much joy, turn so deadly? The investigation revealed that while there were safety restraints, they weren't foolproof. And Mark's tragic death served as a grim reminder of the importance of following safety rules. Joanne Aguilar, a 66-year-old woman from Ventura, California, tragically passed away months after sustaining injuries during a visit to Disneyland. On August 22, 2021, Aguilar visited the theme park with her two adult daughters. At the time, she was recovering from a knee injury and used a wheelchair to navigate the park. When they arrived at the popular Jungle Cruise ride, they were informed that a wheelchair-accessible boat was not available. Despite this, Aguilar decided to board a standard boat with the assistance of her daughters. In an effort to help her exit the boat more easily, Disneyland employees placed small unsecured blocks on the steps to reduce the step height. However, these blocks were not properly secured. As Aguilar tried to disembark, she struggled with the steps and ultimately fell backward, fracturing her right femur. Disturbingly, the family alleges that Disneyland employees nearby giggled and did not offer any help during her struggle. Aguilar underwent surgery for her broken leg and was hospitalized for 10 days before being transferred to a rehabilitation center. She remained there for 5 months, during which she developed an infection that led to septic shock. Sadly, she died on January 29, 2022. Following her death, Aguilar's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Walt Disney Company in November 2022. The lawsuit claims Disney was negligent and failed to provide reasonable accommodations for her disability, in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Disney has denied all allegations and is seeking a jury trial. This heartbreaking incident has raised serious concerns about accessibility and the treatment of disabled guests at major theme parks. Cristina Moreno was a 23-year-old newlywed from Barcelona, Spain, who tragically died following a visit to Disneyland in Anaheim, California, during her honeymoon in 2000. On June 25 of that year, Cristina and her husband visited the park and rode the Indiana Jones Adventure, a high-speed thrill ride known for its intense motions, sudden drops, and sharp turns. Shortly after riding the attraction, Cristina began to experience severe head pain. She reportedly told her husband that she felt like her head was rolling around, indicating a sudden and disturbing sensation. Later that evening, after returning to their hotel, Cristina lost consciousness. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors discovered that she had suffered a brain hemorrhage. Despite medical treatment, she never regained consciousness and remained in a coma for several weeks. Cristina ultimately passed away on September 1, 2000, just over 2 months after the incident. In September 2001, Cristina's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Walt Disney Company. The lawsuit alleged that the extreme forces and jerky movements of the Indiana Jones Adventure ride were responsible for causing the fatal injury. The family also claimed that Disney had prior knowledge of similar incidents on the ride, but failed to take appropriate action to improve safety or warn riders about potential risks. This tragic case led to a legal battle that would have a lasting impact on amusement park regulations. In 2005, the California Supreme Court ruled that theme park rides like Indiana Jones Adventure should be classified as common carriers, a legal designation typically applied to transportation services like buses or trains. This meant that ride operators were required to exercise the highest duty of care to ensure passenger safety. Before the trial could begin, Disney reached an out-of-court settlement with Cristina's family in late 2006. While the details of the settlement were not made public, Disney did not admit any wrongdoing. The case, however, served as a powerful reminder of the importance of ride safety and guest health disclosures in theme parks. This next story is like one of the most disturbing ones I've ever heard. It happened in 1974, and it involves a young woman named Deborah Gale Stone. Deborah was working at Disneyland as a hostess for the America Sings attraction. You know, that show with the singing animatronic animals? Yeah, that one. So, Deborah is working one day, and she's standing near a rotating wall. I don't know all the technical details, but basically this wall was part of the stage design and it moved during the show. Well, somehow Deborah got caught between the wall and the stage, like she was literally crushed. Can you even imagine the horror? The screams? The other cast members who witnessed it? It's just like too much to even think about. They had to shut down the ride, obviously, and it took them hours to get her body out. It was a huge scandal, and Disneyland was like totally freaking out. They tried to cover it up, but the truth came out, of course. Deborah's family sued Disneyland, and they settled out of court. But again, no amount of money can bring back their daughter. It's just a really, really tragic story. Okay, this next one is from 2003, and it happened on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. You know, that roller coaster that's supposed to be like a runaway train? Yeah, well, it literally became a death trap for this poor guy. His name was Marcelo Torres, and he was only 22 years old. He was visiting Disneyland with his fiancée and her family, and they decided to go on Big Thunder Mountain. They got in the front car, all excited, and the ride started like normal. But then, as the train was going up a hill, something went terribly wrong. Like, seriously wrong. The front car detached from the rest of the train. Can you even imagine? You're strapped into this roller coaster and suddenly, you're not attached to anything anymore. The car plummeted down the tracks, and Marcelo was thrown from the car. He hit his head on a piece of equipment and died instantly, like he didn't even have a chance. His fiancée and her family witnessed the whole thing. Can you even imagine the trauma, the guilt, the horror of seeing your loved one die right in front of you? It's just like too much. Disneyland shut down the ride, of course, and they did a whole investigation. They found out that the accident was caused by improper maintenance, like they hadn't been taking care of the ride properly, and it led to someone's death. Marcelo's family sued Disneyland, and they won a huge settlement. But again, no amount of money can bring back their son, their fiancé, their family member. It's just a really, really tragic story. Imagine the excitement of a day at Disneyland, a place known for joy and magic, turning into a nightmare. The thrill of the ride, the anticipation, all shattered in a moment of horror. Safety checks and maintenance are supposed to prevent these tragedies, but when they fail, the consequences are devastating. Marcelo's family had to cope with the loss of a young man who had so much ahead of him. The legal battle that followed was long and grueling, but it brought some measure of justice. Disneyland made changes to their safety protocols, but for Marcelo's family the changes came too late. They hold on to the memories and the love they shared, but the pain of that day will never fully fade. For every visitor, the park is a place of joy, but for those who knew Marcelo, it's a reminder of a life cut short. As the sun sets over Disneyland, it casts a shadow on the memories of that tragic day, a reminder of the importance of safety and vigilance. Brandon Zucker was a young boy whose life was tragically altered during a family visit to Disneyland in Anaheim, California on September 22, 2000. At just 4 years old, Brandon was riding the Roger Rabbit car Toon Spin attraction when he reached down to pick up something he had dropped. This action caused him to fall out of the moving ride vehicle, and he became trapped under the car. He was pinned beneath the vehicle for approximately 10 minutes before emergency responders could free him. During this time, he suffered severe internal injuries, including a ruptured diaphragm, liver, and spleen, as well as brain damage from cardiac arrest. Following the accident, Brandon was in a medically induced coma and later moved to a long-term care facility. Despite ongoing medical interventions, he never regained the ability to walk or talk. Over 8 years later, on January 26, 2009, Brandon, at 13 years old, was found unresponsive at his home in Anaheim. He was taken to St. Joseph Hospital and later transferred to Children's Hospital of Orange County, where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy was performed, but the exact cause of death was not immediately determined. The incident prompted significant changes in amusement park safety protocols. Disneyland revised its emergency procedures, instructing ride operators to contact 911 directly in the event of an accident to expedite medical assistance. Additionally, the California Division of Occupational Safety and Health mandated that Disneyland implement enhanced safety features on the Roger Rabbit car Toon Spin ride, including closures for the entryway and sensor-equipped guards around the vehicles to prevent similar accidents. Brandon's story serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of stringent safety measures in amusement parks and the enduring impact such incidents can have on families. Even in the most magical places, tragedy can strike. These incidents are a chilling reminder that theme park rides, no matter how carefully designed, aren't immune to danger. While Disney has taken steps to improve safety over the years, these stories remind us that behind every fairy tale, there's a reality we can't ignore. To the victims and their families, these aren't just stories. They're painful memories that deserve to be remembered. If you found this video eye-opening, like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the surprising truths behind the places we think we know. And as always, stay curious, stay safe.